Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you
Cindy?
doing?
I'm doing, I
I'm
used to,
Lily. I'm Lily, actually.
Lily. How are you, Lily? Good to
Yes.
meet
Good.
you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you for joining us today and being willing to talk to everyone.
Of course. No, I love to, no problem.
Yeah. Where are you based out of, by the way?
Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Austin.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mhm. Where are you?
I actually am. I just moved from Kansas City to Columbia, Missouri. It's
Okay.
about 2 hours east of Kansas City. So
Uh,
I'm with most of the Folk Alliance staff is based in Kansas City, but
cool.
um
Yeah.
yeah, so well,
No,
cool.
yeah,
I've not been
I've
to
like great
Austin.
time going there. Yeah. The last couple of years I've gone to the International Folk Alliance is amazing. Yeah, it's such a,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you'll get to go to Montreal this year? I know it's kind of
I'm I'm
different.
hoping,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely hoping. Yeah, I have I mean, I think I don't. I think I tried to apply last year, but I didn't get in. I went as
Mhm.
a they do the in-room things, but trying to see if I can get grant money to also bring the string quartet that I have ready for the project that I'll be talking about in the meeting today. But it would be great to also like make it to go and play there officially or something. But I
Yeah.
mean, if
Yeah.
it works, it works. But yeah, I'll still play.
No, I definitely understand when individuals who can't really get to perform
Exactly.
when they have to back out, kind of, just because that's what you're there to do for the most part, so it kind
Mhm.
of just makes sense, financially, also just how expensive it is to be able to attend, but then on top of having to like book your flights and stay, and
Yeah.
so no, I completely get it. Oh, I think
Uh,
Vaughn's here too.
Yeah, on top of that, like the idea would be like to bring the string quartet with me. That would be fantastic. But then that's contingent upon getting invited to play, and then another can of worms is getting the grant money to. Well, that's one other kind of applications that I do. But I gotten a few grant application cultural grants to produce concerts. Like, but I have to do one specifically to be able to afford flying everybody there, covering the expenses and everything. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
that'll be
mean,
cool.
yeah, it's not just you have to worry about everyone who's playing with you too, so that's a lot, I know, to coordinate.
It's a lot of supporting. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys already
Uh,
start the Q&A?
yeah.
You
Hey, how are
start?
you, man?
Hey,
It
how's it
started
going?
recording when I came in, so I never clicked anything. So I don't know.
Okay,
Cool.
that's all good. Hey Javier, my name's Fawn. Lily, are you good? I'm here to just help out. I'm on staff at Focal Alliance.
Wonderful, man. Thank you, thank you. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Fawn,
Fawn. Okay, Fawn. Javier. Good to meet you, man. Awesome.
good to meet you too.
There's some strings there, and then the background.
Yeah, here. I got a few over
That
there.
cello?
Yeah, cello and guitar and a little mandolin. I don't know how to play mandolin, but I'm gonna learn one day.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice, nice. Sweet.
Javier, thank you for doing this. The
Mhm.
Flemic Grant Q&A is just now ending and it's going like super well. So
Mhm.
I'm excited for this session. But do you guys need anything? Is everything good? You're all set up? You feel
I
good?
don't, I think we're good.
Yeah.
I did
Mhm.
want to, let me put in the chat. Did you have any, we kind of put in the chat during it, like, I want to put your like website and everything just so people can have like direct links to it. Is there anything else specifically? Do you want me to that just promote in the chat while you're talking?
Yeah, there's a website that I might have already sent this, but let me know if not. It's the one that says www.ourrhythmsourvoices.com.
Yeah, you sent that to me and Cindy. Okay, what would you like me to say with that?
Yeah, that's
Is
the
that your
title
quartet, or is that
of the project. Actually, it's like when it's I will unpack it once we have the meeting, but basically it's the name of the project of kind of shedding a positive light in the immigrant experience through music and poetry. And so, yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And we interviewed people from different walks of life, Latin Americans who live now in the Austin, Texas area. And then a friend of mine wrote a poem based on each interview. And then I grabbed the poem and wrote a song and a small string arrangement for it. And then eventually got picked up by Austin Unconducted, which is an 18-piece orchestra, which has like composers in the house, which were willing to arrange or expand my original arrangement to fit the full orchestra format, which is adding cellos and violas actually. So.
Yeah.
So now it's like 18, all the 12 songs of the project are going to be performed thanks to a grant at the Long Center here in Austin, Texas on September the 8th. Yeah. I basically told you everything I'm going to say in the meeting.
Well, sorry
Basically,
to make you practice before.
Yeah.
Is this, whenever you bring up that topic, is it okay for me just to put this in the chat right here?
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's a picture. That's the picture of you, and it says the I didn't see what info there. Can you put it again? You said something. I cannot see it.
Oh
Let me
yeah,
see.
I'm putting it in the chat part. Oh wait, is it open? Let me see. Here, let me see if this. Okay, I just sent it again to you.
Yes. Let our rhythms and voices. I don't. Yeah, I mean the website's there. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's
Okay,
fantastic.
cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. Then I'll make sure to kind of hit your
Nice.
cues whenever you're talking. In terms
And
of
sometimes, yeah,
oh yeah.
sometimes like adding like the handle of gladly my Instagram and Facebook have the same handle. I mean, I think
Oh,
that's what
okay.
it is. Meta. If you want to add that too, that'd be perfect too.
Yeah,
No,
let me grab those real fast. I see your Facebook on your website, and you said they're the same handle.
yeah, it's a Javi Javi Jara Música, and I mean, at Javi Jara Música. I think that's what it is for
Okay.
both of them. Yeah. Mhm. And I think I have a couple of minutes. I'll be right back from the bathroom, and I'll be with you guys in 1 second.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm good, Fawn.
Okay.
I talked with Cindy. I'm just gonna do like a quick introduction and then hand it over to Javier. So I think I have it. We'll see.
Okay, well,
I'm sad. It keeps wanting to autocorrect his name, and I'm like, I promise.
to what?
To Kara for some reason. I don't know if it's my computer. It's fine.
I was going to ask if, because Flamey's video was so cool, if Javier had like a music video or a performance video or something that we could play during this. But
Oh,
maybe maybe when he comes back, let's ask if he
ask
wants
that real fast. Yeah. We're about to start, so it goes pretty fast.
Yeah. Then after this, it's campfire.
This one is through it's through your account. Okay. But the next one is through Jared's. Okay, so it's
Campfire.
okay if this goes over just a little bit,
Okay.
I think. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hey, are you ready to go? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce you.
Mhm.
And then it's just gonna be your time, and then I'll give you a 5-minute warning whenever we need to start wrapping things up. I'll just like direct message you if that's okay.
Cool. I mean, you have so many kind of like prompt questions, like because and if you're okay with me ranting for 30 minutes, I can do that, but it can be a lot of ranting. So I mean, not ranting, rambling.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you if you want to describe yourself and then just be like, and I can say this when I introduce you to, I can be like, feel free to start putting your questions in the chat. And then do you want me to kind of just interrupt you and say, hey, you have some questions in the chat, or do you want to read it yourself and answer?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's some to make it more interactive, I'm open to do that. Yes.
Okay, cool. So sorry, did you want to read them? Did you want to answer the questions yourself, or do you want me to come in and be like, hey, here's a question in the chat?
So let's say someone asks a question, and then you can like kind of like tell me, and Javier, like there's a question from, and then you can, yeah, that can work. Is that what you're
Okay.
saying? Like if someone comes and
Yeah,
asks
I
them,
was like, would you rather, I don't want to interrupt your flow of talking. So I'm like, do you want to
Yeah.
just read off the questions yourself, or do you
No
want me to
worries.
read them off? Because I'm fine either way.
Yeah, if you want to chime in and let me know that there's someone else asking a question, that's completely fine. I mean, when the format was smaller, like a question and ask like really quick, then it would be different. But so I would
Yeah.
have my time. But if it's like 30 minutes, I mean, definitely. I mean,
It's super,
and
it's
if you guys
super
want me to
fast.
play something, I mean, I kind of can do that. It's kind of weird to do the Zoom singing, and I don't even know if I have it. That's the question I had. The right format, not to let the sound, because sometimes
The audio.
the audio goes off or something. If that's the case and I didn't fix it, I'd rather not play if it's going to be chopping off all the time, like. But if it's already good, or you can walk me through how to do it, I have the thing here. Is there something that I need to do, like configuration
Do you know
wise?
in your audio settings?
Yeah, if you go into your audio settings,
So
there's
meeting
a
set,
there's
yes.
a live original sound for musicians.
Okay, let me find that. I cannot see it yet. So let me see. Meeting topic, no, show stuff and show comment. I don't see that quite yet. So where would that be found?
Let me
It's-
show my screen real fast.
Okay.
And also, Javier, if you'd like, would you like us to just play do you have a music video or a performance video that you'd like us to share instead? Because that might be easier.
I actually do. Let me show you. Let me send it. Yes, I do. I do.
Okay, send, if you send it,
Let me pull it up really quick, and I'll see if I can forward this to you really quick. Let's see. Did I put it on the email already? I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't. So let me see if I can forward a video that I just sent to some folks who will be, like collaborating with me on the concert for the September the 8th, and something that I sent. Sorry, I'm kind of like moving through this quickly. Would that be? Okay, this is the link. I want to copy link, and I can put it probably in the chat with you guys. Would that work?
Yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
fine.
Let me see. Okay.
Is it
We'll
just
leave-
as simple as sharing my screen font and showing it?
Yeah, I think so. And making sure that you've got the sound on, but the sound is optimized for stereo. It's a
Yeah.
Okay,
little,
let's.
Let me see if the YouTube link that I just sent works. We can probably make that a part of the presentation. It's a small video, and it should be there.
it's perfect. And Lily, I'm going to be here at least for a while until we get Campfire started. Do you want me to share or do you want to share?
Do you mind sharing it? Sorry, I'm just not as familiar with doing
Yeah, I got
that. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, well, are you guys ready to go then?
Yep.
Here, let me turn the camera off.
Okay, then I'm gonna let everyone in.
Whenever you have the link, Javier, just let me know.
Oh, he
I
sent it
put
just
on
to
the-
me. Sorry, let me send it to you.
Okay,
Fine.
great,
I'm
great.
sorry. I thought it was like a group chat.
No,
Sorry.
you're fine. The messages get weird sometimes where they auto send to something else.
Okay, I got it.
You got
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna let people in now.
Uh-huh.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm gonna let a few more people just join in, and then we'll get started here today. Okay. Hi, I'm Lily Joyner. I am the creative coordinator here at Folk Alliance International. And I'm here to introduce Javier and hand it over to him for his Q&A today. Just to let everyone know, please pop your questions either into the chat or in the Q&A section of Zoom. And I will try to facilitate whenever I see those pop up for Javier to answer. Otherwise, he will just be sharing about him, his music, showing the video. But yeah, you're welcome to start, Javier.
Thank you so much, Lily, and thank you so much, Fawn and Cindy and everybody. from Folk Alliance International. I've had the pleasure of being there for the last couple of years, and it's been one of the most amazing experiences, not just looking at and getting inspired from other musicians, but meeting people from different parts of the world. Is just amazing. And it's interesting to get jet lagged while not going anywhere because you are sleeping at going to bed at 4 a.m. So it's quite an interesting experience. Highly recommend it for creative inspiration. Beautiful place. So my name is Javier Jara. I'm originally from Cuenca, Ecuador. I've been here in Austin, Texas for the last 20 years. I came here to study music, actually, to study classical guitar. I did that for 4 years. I got my bachelor's degree. Then I went to UT for a master's in music education. And I really wanted to be a full-time public school teacher. And I just honestly got burnt out. I did it for 5 years. It was a great experience, but my calling was and has always been actually performing and writing and playing music. And that's what I've been doing since right before the pandemic, actually, when I quit my teaching job at Southwestern University. And the couple of years before I graduated, I quit my job. We had the 2016 election, and there was a lot of negative things being said about all immigrants and minorities in general through one of the candidates, right? I don't think I need to say which one, but so there was a lot of things that were negative about the Latin American experience specifically, and my students were like stressed out and crying and wondering what's going to happen because of the things that were being said about their families that were just downright very negative racist stereotypes, right? And I feel included too because they were my students and I'm also an immigrant. So what got me thinking is like, how can I protest in a way that is constructive without adding to the controversy or without adding to the polarizing? And I'm just going to use music to do that. So I started collaborating with a writer, a poet from Mexico. He's a wonderful musician on his own right. His name is Jair Duran. He's a beautiful writer and poet. So my partner, Jane O'Brien, started interviewing different people from Latin American countries. It came out to 12, right? And so in an interview, they came and poured their heart to us and told us the reasons for which they are living here in the United States. And then my friend Jair grabbed each one of those interviews, like a 2-hour interview, an hour interview, and listened to it and wrote a poem based on each testimony. And then I grabbed the poem and set music to it. I wrote a song based on this in each story, and wrote a small arrangements for 2 violins, upright bass, guitar, and vocals. And so that project became and is known now as Our Rhythms, Our Voices. You might be able to see it in the chat. It's www.ourrhythmsourvoices.com. And so last March, I was tapped by one of the very neat orchestras that exists here in Austin, Texas. It's called Austin Unconducted. It's a wonderful 18-piece orchestra composed of one of the finest string players here in the city. And so they have a house composer who grabbed the original arrangement and expanded it for the format of the full orchestra, adding cellos and violas. And 3 songs, we presented them at KMFA Studios, a beautiful small place to do recitals and concerts. And then because of the like the positive response and people saw the project, we got a grant to actually present it at an even bigger venue right now. It's at the Long Center here in Austin, Texas. And for the 12 songs, so each one of the original arrangements became a co-arrangement with the house composer and some other performers and composers who belong to Austin Unconducted. On all of the 12 songs will be played the Long Center on September the 8th as like a kind of like a beginning of the Hispanic Heritage Month, which starts on the 15th of September. So everybody's welcome to attend this show. I know everybody's in different places and everything, but if you can make it or share the word, or people who you know here in Austin, Texas, let them know that this very cool project is coming up. And then finally, if you would like to put the video so people can see a little glimpse of what happened on March and at KMFA Studios, you will get to see that at KMFA Studios next. I mean, at the Long Center on September the 8th for the 12th song. So check it out. Año 62. Por eso es que pasan los días y degustas. Para vos la receta contiene luz y sal. Hueles el ajo y cierras los ojos con la fruta. Tu primera receta te la dio tu mamá. Si escuchas este canto solamente quisiera hacerte ver que admiro tu vida y tu pasión. Si escuchas el acento de mi razón viajera, invoco esta cadencia, te doy una canción. Si escuchas los sonidos de esta milonga errante, suspiro de poetas, pasteles por hornear. Devoraste a Quijote, esencia de Cervantes, leíste a Becker Borges, vibraste al caminar.
If anyone would like to ask any questions, you're welcome to raise your hand or drop them in the Q&A section or in the chat. Otherwise, Javier, you're welcome to keep talking about your profession if you want to give any advice or guidance towards kind of I feel like you've talked a lot about, you know, a really great aspect of being an artist is unfortunately like kind of the business side of things as well, and having to juggle that with like just wanting to create music and be able to perform. But it's all been really insightful and beautiful so far. But yeah, if anyone's, feel free to hop in and ask questions as you want to.
Yes, thank you so much, Lily. So it's been it's always a challenging experience, to just to be able to do music and even to to quote Nina Simone, to reflect the times, to be able to do that in a significant and impactful manner with respect and articulating your point of view and shedding light on the complexity of the human experience through art and poetry and music, and which has been very difficult as of late, like because of like even more difficulty getting grants to produce concerts, more venues that shut your doors. I mean, I'm not going to say in which manners, but if you voice your opinion or you say that you are against, like, I don't know, like using extreme military force to I don't know how to say it, because I mean, I'm actually being careful how I use my words, because it's like hurting people's sensitivities. But right now there is a genocide, going on in the Middle East, and that is very complex. The media only shows us a very acute, very like obtuse and very skewed view of what's happening, and we are not going to be able to progress or become the wonderful country that this is if we don't just tell the whole truth of what's happening. So it's been very difficult, and actually it started with the grants that I started participating with to produce this concert. There is a clause, and I don't know if you guys know about this, but if you participate and to get grants in the city of Austin to produce concerts, there's one clause that says you cannot support boycotting Israel, and this is from 2016. So this is even before this madness started on October 7th, which didn't start on October 7th. It started in 1948 with the Nakba, which was the forceful displacement of Palestinians from their original land by military force and violence, right? So this has been going on for many, many decades, and right now it's exploded with this horrible thing that that Hamas did, like with which you don't respond with violence, with more violence, and it's just created this mess that we have right now. But they didn't start on October 7th. That's my point. But you cannot say this in concerts. My freedom of speech is basically cut off when I start talking about things that criticize Israel. So there's a clause that says you cannot support boycotting Israel, otherwise you don't get the grant, basically. So in all of the concerts, I didn't feel the need to talk about it because I always feel strongly about it. But right now, I can produce all the concerts I want. I can talk about the immigration or Latin American, but if I start talking about Israel, they don't give me the money for the grant. I cannot produce concerts. I cannot be an artist that talks and reflects the times if it's against a genocide. So I'm sorry to put it out there in this blunt way, but I hope it's going to be it's going to change sometime. So
thank you for bringing that up. And kind of in tandem with that, Melanie had a question, and if you want to incorporate kind of that aspect of your music as well in your conversations about political and social issues, she asked, how has teaching informed how you approach your music? She's also a teacher now, and I think that's kind of relevant to what you're speaking to also.
yes, so I was when I quit teaching public school recently, but I always found a way to articulate. And I don't want to say I'm going to be talking politics with middle schoolers, but in a sense I did, because I was talking about the songs of Victor Jara, for instance, right? And Victor Jara, he only happens to have my same last name, and we are not related. Maybe in my soul I am related to him, but he has a very tragic story, right? He was a musician, songwriter, theater playwright. In 1973 in Chile, he was the Minister of Culture. But then a dictatorship came, again, military violence that was supported by the elites and by rich people in Chile and the United States and Europe. And they started a coup d'etat that killed and disappeared thousands of people. Among them was Victor Jara, because he was outspoken against the injustices that have been happening for hundreds of years in Chile, right? That he was very happy to be now in a government that was supporting the people, the folks, but this government was overthrown by a military dictatorship. And he wrote beautiful, beautiful songs. Like one of them is called Te Recuerdo, Amanda. I remember you, Amanda. And it's about his mother, Victor Jara's mother. And he is talking about her mom going and seeing her father, because he only had 5 minutes. He had like 16-hour shifts at a factory where they paid him nothing, without the benefits, without social security, without vacations. And he only had 5 minutes for lunch. And she went to eat with him for those 5 minutes, and they felt that it was the most beautiful time, because that was the only time they had. And this song talks about that, and the rain coming in, and she didn't matter, her getting wet and getting there and spending 5 times with her husband. And eventually he had a work accident, and he never came back home, because he died in a work accident that they didn't pay for the insurance, and they just became poorer because there was one less person to bring bread to the table, right? And all of this is compressed in a beautiful song that doesn't say the things that I'm telling you, but if you listen to the song carefully, you're like, this is about a working class person who is working days, and his wife is coming and seeing him during lunch break, and many, many songs I would play for the kids at main middle school. 95% Hispanic, 4% Black, and 1% white. That was basically the demographics of the school. But all of them working class. So many students cried when I played those songs, because they felt identified with it. They felt like that. That's my mom. That's my dad. So it was very beautiful to be able to do that while I was teaching public school, and I still do it. Every time I get a chance to teach, people ask me, because they know I play a lot of music that have to do with civil rights, with civil causes, and I embed my music lesson into teaching them songs that have to do with it.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, it's hard to separate those aspects. It's impossible to honestly separate those aspects of your life, and that's probably so meaningful for those children who get to learn about those things through that. Melanie, did you have any other questions related to that? I see that your camera's on if you want to speak or type it in the chat. No worries.
I I have 80 questions. I'm trying to.
No worries. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about all of that too. I teach preschool.
Nice,
And-
yeah.
I'm first of all just grateful for you to name genocide here, and I am thinking of how to show up as a teacher and an artist in the midst of that, and I appreciate you naming it. And yeah, trying to show up with justice in mind, especially with really young kids.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just appreciate your answer. I don't have a follow-up question, but thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you so
For
much.
me, teaching has like crossed over to music in unexpected ways. I have to like perform and sing in front of them, and that has helped me as a performer. So it's interesting to hear.
Definitely. Teaching art, being a teaching artist is a difficult thing, but that's a beautiful thing. You can articulate your teaching into the things that you like to do. I mean, if you like teaching and being an artist, that's great. I mean, I always like more performing and playing. But while I was a public school teacher, I always managed to sneak in what I love to do, and that ended up inspiring the students too. So that's definitely a plus. Yeah, it cannot hurt.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. We don't have any other questions at this time, but if you would like to speak to more about your career or to your place in the industry, or really just any experiences you have that you feel like would be just great bits of knowledge or wisdom to artists, whether new or old in your experience, or speak more to your own connections to your culture and experience, here in the US and that as well. I mean, everything you've been saying has been very inspiring and thoughtful. So we really appreciate it.
No problem. Absolutely. Yeah. It's basically just if we love what we do. I mean, we're going to do it anyway. Like, and that's the very slippery slope when you're in a city that like self-describes itself as the live music capital of the world, and it's still, you get a lot of things that happen that they're always trying to find a way. And I'm not being like critical about the venues, but it's always, how can you bring the money? Are people going to buy drinks from where you are performing? And it's always like money and business oriented. I understand, because I'm an artist too, and I also want money so I can survive and I can keep on making my art. But the equation has always been extremely unbalanced, right? So you have right now actually a situation in Austin where, I have a friend who we just had like a dinner last night. He's from Iran. His name is Mohammed Firouzi, wonderful musician. And he told me, Javier, I've been here in this city since 1973, right? Since like early in the 70s. By 1979, it was really great. It was like I was making $75, $80 a gig, but $80 was the price that you paid it for rent. So if you had like 2 gigs in a month, which was unlikely because we musicians play much more often than that, right? So if you had 1 gig or two, you already were okay with paying rent, and then the rest was for other things, for like insurance, for food, for everything you needed. And he's like, and he told me this in 2018. He's like, it's been like almost 40 years now, and I'm still making with my 8-piece band $75, $100 when we go to a club, and now rent is $1,500. And this is telling you that all the prices, everything is increasing here in Austin, Texas, but not the wage of the musicians. So we have a lot of wonderful musicians. This band is amazing. Check them out. The name is Atash, which means fire in Farsi, right? And he's from Iran. The guitar player is from Cuba. The sitar player is from India. The djembe player is from Equatorial Guinea. I mean, it's like a composition of master musicians from different parts of the world, right?
That's a beautiful, beautiful blend, honestly. Yeah.
Yes, and exactly, and he told me I mean, he's like, we are not making any more money, everything, and people are moving from town. I mean, a lot of musicians are moving from town, and eventually it might happen to me too, or again, find a day job again to be able to support myself, because it's really, really difficult to do what you love when the prices are going up. We have technology folks who come here, which is great. You have Tesla, you have Google, you have everything, but the prices are going up, right? And people it would be great if we were paying equally, like as people are coming and making money here, but we are not, So, and then we depend and well, we depend in a very unstable salary, like making half the money I used to make when I was a public school teacher right now. I'm way happier, but I'm making half of the money I used to play, and I'm working just as hard, because I'm still practicing 3-4 hours a day. I got gig 5 hours a week, five times a week, sometimes 2, sometimes 8, you never know, right? But it's the most unstable job you can ever have if you go full-on musician. And I don't know how people do it in other places. I know that I've been hearing that in in New York or like Nashville, you have to pay to play. I cannot even fathom that, But it's the reality here in Austin right now. And I see musicians moving like 40, 30 minutes from Austin, living in least expensive places and coming and playing and having to go after gigging back to the houses, which are like 40 minutes drive, and in Austin, Texas, that's a lot because straight lines driving for 40 minutes is like, I don't know, 50 miles from here or something. So it's a crazy reality, like, I don't know if that's any wisdom that I'm saying. I'm just telling you what's happening with the creatives in Austin, Texas. Not just musicians, people from theater, from painters, everybody is struggling right now if you're an artist in Austin. Yeah.
How do you feel like you as an artist, I don't want to say combat that because obviously that's a societal issue. But how do you feel like mentally and spiritually, and do you keep going with dealing with those issues? I know that's hard to
Yeah,
do when you're working such long hours, obviously, but if you have any advice there to kind of keep motivated and to keep feeling passionate about your music and what you're doing.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's the thing that we love what we do. Like it's funny because I people are getting me like all the time. They say like, "Can you come and play for this thing?" And we have great exposure. We cannot pay you any money, but can you do this? Like I'm like, I am sorry, but I have to get paid. Like you get catered people who bring food and everything. They are not giving it for free. Like or any kind of person who has some kind of service that they are bringing. And I tell them sometimes, sometimes I'm very blunt as you're hearing me right now, but I'm telling you, you're not asking people to come and bring their food and give it for free. Like one thing is a sample or something, but we need to reciprocate and do hire people. And this is something that I tell to everybody right now, even musicians or people who know someone who can, who have the means to hire live concerts or house concerts or events in the neighborhood. Do your best to be able to incorporate artists in any activity you have in your city, and so you can give us work. Like we can keep on doing what we love, but basically we do it because we love it. And I still teach. Like actually, like I have to teach in an hour. Like for a couple of hours. Zoom or teach at the libraries too. Here the city pays me to teach free lessons, and I gig a lot too. But still, it's always like bits and bits and bits that eventually kind of save me the month. But still, it's very, very, very difficult. But we do it because we love it.
That's very true. And I'm sure that, as much as you love teaching and doing these different bits, it probably is very exhausting to have to juggle different things all the time just to kind of be able to survive in the economy, basically. So but yeah, is there any sort of parting wisdom or words you want to give to the audience before we close out here?
I don't know. Probably experience, which is what you guys have been hearing. Wisdom. I wish I did have it. Like have it to make it even better. To do something to exert change, not just in the livelihood of musicians, but how we use art to protest. To speak out about the issues and the current events in a powerful and significant and impactful way. Those are the things that I'm actually reaching out to all of you guys who are listening to this, how we can do this better or like do it more meaningfully. There are a lot of movements right now that are trying to do the right thing here, but as you might have noticed, even the liberal media or like NPR or like the media that is supposed to be more like liberal, like speaking more about the issues, they are towing the line of the establishment of the narrative that is protecting the interest weapon manufacturers, or people who make money from destroying things, like they did in the war of Iraq. People were happy because they were contractors who said, like, this is a wonderful opportunity to rebuild. And they were actually basically destroying everything to justify the building constructors, and this is beautifully articulated, much, much better than I can actually do, in a book by Naomi Klein. She's a Canadian writer, and he wrote a book called The Shock Doctrine. The Shock Doctrine. And then there's a chapter actually about the war in Iraq. There's a chapter about the Katrina, the hurricane in 2005. There's a chapter about Chile, what I told you about Victor Jara. And if you want to read a little more extensively about what I'm talking about, go and check out that book. It's amazing in that way. So yeah, that's the only thing I can say. Like, speak out. Even though it's risky, like it's been risky for me. It's been actually problematic too, because I've noticed I'm not getting hired as often by places who I know are upset about the fact of people talking about the genocide in Palestine right now. And I'm not going to tell you which of the venues or entities that used to hire me more often, but they don't do that anymore, right? And so I started noticing, or even like people. I have Jewish friends who some are actually part of the Jewish Voices for Peace, who are very, very much in line to what I'm telling you right now. But others are more conservative and are very upset at what I'm telling me and calling me an anti-Semite, but are telling me I am also actually Jewish too. I'm Native American, Spaniard, and Sephardic Jewish. There was a list of last names in Ecuador that was just released. People had to hire their original names because of persecution, or Jewish persecution in Europe in the earlier and late in 18th and 20th centuries. And Jara and Espinosa are Sephardic Jewish last names. And I had to tell her that you cannot do that with me because I'm also Jewish. So it's a lot of things that are getting said about the word is being abused to silence and to suppress freedom of speech. Calling you an anti-Semite because you are protesting against something that is not being done by Jewish people. They are not representing Jewish people. The Zionists who are empowering an ideology of occupation that is hurting a lot of people, and this has to be said. It's like, I'm not generalizing at all because I'm a Jew. I have original Jewish origins too. But I'm saying that you have to speak out, even though you belong in certain way of manner to that group too. It's not because I'm Latino, I'm not going to talk about things that happen horribly in Latin America too. There's crime, there's narco traffic, there's violence in Latin America, and I cannot be silent about it just because it comes from where I'm from. I have to speak out about that too. So that would be my spiel about it. Like, just speak out regardless.
Thank you. That's honestly very inspiring and very, I don't know, it gives strength to artists to feel passionate about what they believe in and to be able to talk about that through their art. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking to us and sharing about your story and your music. We really appreciate it.
Lily. My delight. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me rant. I said I was going to just talk, but I did end up ranting, but my apologies.
No, you were great. No worries. No worries. I put your socials and your website link in the chat, but thank you again. And thank you everyone for joining us and being a part of Folk Plus. Feel free to continue the conversation on Folk Plus in our community. But everyone, you guys have a good day. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Elise. Thank you so much, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.
Gracias. Thank you.